So there's loads of great techniques in karate, but one of the things the Common Sense Karate channel is about is shedding light on some of the techniques that are a bit abstract or aren't quite as functional or not functional at all. So what we want to talk today about is Uchi from here. And one of the biggest things to see about Uchi is who uses Uchi in sparring. I remember doing what I was told was traditional karate, but it was really modern Japanese karate. But we did endless drills of passing one hand to the other hand, harmonizing our block against incoming straight punches, all of those things from here, and we spent ages doing it. However, who uses this in sparring against a straight punch? Certainly not anyone, certainly not me in the dojo, certainly not anyone in WKF points fighting, certainly not anyone in any other fighting style, boxing, mixed martial arts, anything from here. So if this is not used for blocking straight punches, then the first thing we should drop is any drill which uses it to block straight punches, which then begs the question, why are we practicing it at all if we don't use it for straight punches? And to that, we must look at kata for the answer. Now, when we look at kata from here, this is one of the most common blocks in kata. But if you study the bunkai, you'll see that the interpretations of this block aren't for blocking straight punches unless you are in a modern Japanese style, which is a very narrow-minded interpretation of kata. But if you explore more realistically from here what the kata originally used to be before Otosu stylized everything into set blocks, you'll see that Uchi represents a massive range of different techniques. For example, from here I've seen it performed as a block to a haymaker, obviously not in its original form, but as an outwards block, as a heiwanuki. From here I've seen it as a strike, following that up, although you're probably better off doing that like a shuto uke from here with a twist this way rather than the twist that way from here. And I've seen it as a overhand clinch from here, so you're clinching someone up so they can't punch you. I've seen it as a hook and a grapple. From here I've seen it as so if we just move this way so we can see, I've seen it as a move to a joint lock. I've seen it as a 12 to 6 elbow, a spear move, very, very similar to what we were doing before, spearing from here. So the double Uchi is from here, moving into my opponent and clearing away from here, pushing his head away so he can't use his left, etc., etc. So the point I'm trying to make is, probably there are loads more, but the point I'm trying to make is in kata from here, none of them are blocking straight punches. They're all various different variations of like defenses against, like framing, defending against double legs and single leg takedowns, all sorts of different things. Even from here, just a simple act of keeping your elbows in your guard from here is sometimes interpreted as one of the major oyo or principles behind Uchi. So if that's the case, if there's such a wide range of different techniques that Uchi represents, and each of them has most of them have a slightly different interpretation or a slightly different nuance to them. From here, some of them do have that pulling in, like from here, if I do a double overhand clinch from here, if he throws a punch from here, a hooking punch from here, and I'm clinching here, and then from here I come in and clinch. I have got that pulling into my core and strengthening up from here and tightening up to hold my opponent in from here. So that's quite like the movement, but others from here, like the elbow, don't have that harmonizing movement. They don't have that into-out movement at all. And the point is from here is if we're to practice our kata in a way that is representative of the bunkai and actually serves the purpose of the kata, that is at least, very least, reminding us of self-defense, but better yet, actually conditioning our moves for self-defense, then we should probably add a little bit of nuance towards performing those Uchi like the bunkai rather than like a standardized block-to-block straight punches. So if that's the case, let me rewind right back to the start. if we shouldn't practice this as a block to straight punches, we can cut out all the drills that do that. They are patently useless. Also too, if it's going to be done slightly nuancedly different in katas from here, and we're practicing at loads and katas, is there a need to practice this in basics? And the answer is that's pretty much a waste of time. You're practicing a block that you'll never use in sparring, and when it's practiced in kata, it's never practiced the way, never quite, well not never, but it's almost never quite practiced the way you train in it for basics. So you're doing thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of repetitions of a block that you will never quite use in the way that you're conditioning yourself to do it in. So for that reason, we should evaluate the worth of Uchi in our training and consider from here maybe replacing it with a much more practical block to block maybe the most common attack in karate from here, which is of course in self-defense, which is of course a haymaker, and modify the way we do Uchi into a more heiwanuki type block where we're actually defending those most common blocks, considering from here none of the other blocks can block a haymaker without massive modification. That is for another video. Anyway, train hard, train smart, think common sense.